Taito Chase HQ is one of those ubiquitous games. By my count, there were 14 versions of it released while that iron was still hot. And of those 14 versions, the PC Engine is definitely one of them. Naturally, Chase HQ started out as an arcade game, and it was one of the more ubiquitous arcade games of the late 80s. It reached arcades at the end of 1988, and it was a massive hit for Taito. The PC Engine didn't have the first console port available. Taito released a port to the Famicom just 1 month before the PC Engine version. So if you couldn't wait and were willing to accept a lot of compromises, you could have been playing Chase HQ at home already. So the first thing you're going to notice about this version of Chase HQ is that one single note plays, and then it's dead silence. This isn't fixed even in the US version. So we're off to a great start. Chase HQ was really obviously inspired by Miami Vice. It's the kind of thing that you can spot even before it's confirmed. Two cops get into a sports car, and then run down a criminal who's fleeing in their own sports car. There are 6 stages here, and at the start of every stage you get some communications from Chase HQ, and they'll tell you who you need to run down. You might have noticed that this video is a bit short, and that's because Chase HQ is a very simple game. Hold down button 1 to accelerate, button 2 is your brake, and that's enough to race down the road. You're racing a timer, and you can see the distance between you and the criminal. When you get close enough to your target to see them, then the timer resets, giving you a full 60 seconds to ram them off the road. The criminal's vehicle has its own damage bar that increases as you crash into them. And once it's filled up, then you pull them over and move on to the next chase. Chase HQ gives you 3 turbo boosts that you can use on every stage. You can activate those by pressing select. And when the turbo is activated, your car tends to handle a lot better, taking turns more sharply than it does without the boost. These turbo boosts refresh with every level, and they also refresh if you run out of time and have to use a continue. So this is a use it or lose it kind of situation. At one point, while you're chasing down the criminal, the road will divide. Fortunately, there's a big arrow there to tell you which way to go. Well, except on the last stage where you just have to guess. Choosing left and right has such a tiny effect on the game that I wonder why they implemented it at all. I suppose it makes Chase HQ closer to Outrun, but in Outrun, the choice of left and right actually matters. Here you just do what they tell you. The driving in this version of Chase HQ is not great. I've noticed that collisions seem inconsistent. Sometimes you'll slip past something, and sometimes it'll send you spinning. You'll be passing cars narrowly, and then suddenly find yourself skidding to one side. Of course, the criminal's car doesn't have any problems with collisions at all. It'll pass straight through anything on the road. It gets extra frustrating on later stages when the amount of traffic increases a lot. The other cars will form a kind of shield for the criminal, and there won't be much you can do about it except pass them and hope for a window to open up. The PC Engine port of Chase HQ doesn't have the greatest reputation in Japan. People like the original arcade game, but I found plenty of people who said they found the PC Engine version disappointing. I will give the PC Engine version of Chase HQ this. It's the best console port for the time, but it plays strangely. It feels like the additional difficulty in the driving model was offset by giving you so many turbo boosts. And the result is a game that's relatively easy. It's not a total cakewalk. You'll have to drive pretty well on the later stages to catch up to the criminals. But I doubt this game would challenge anyone for long. There's also not much here. The stages all wind up playing pretty much the same. There aren't new obstacles or more complex road layouts. You just basically do the same thing 6 times and then you're done. It's the kind of thing that works fine as an arcade experience, but it's kind of shallow for a console game in 1990. If you really, absolutely had to play a port of Chase HQ, well, then I guess this PC Engine version is acceptable. But it feels like it could have been so much more.